Hi guys, Chris again. And in this video, I want to talk about the reality that we're in, the lower, what are we? The lower the others, right? The have-nots basically. Because we're basically at the point where you either have it all or you don't. I don't do that poorly. It's largely because I have figured out some, let's call them cheat codes and ways to, get around some of the costs of daily living. But I think that at this point in time, people need to do whatever it takes. Whatever you have to do, short of hurting somebody else, breaking the law, that kind of thing. All the usual caveats. Do whatever you have to do. For me, I've worked McDonald's. I've done outside sales. I've sold cars. I've sold cable TV. I've sold commercial bottled water service. I've sold technology in stores. I've done the Geek Squad type thing. I've done furniture sales. I've done office supply sales. I've done automotive detailing. I used to detail at a BMW dealership. I think I mentioned it. I've worked McDonald's. I worked Arby's. I've done fast food. I've done it all. I've done the worst of the worst. My job that I have now is okay. Who knows if it stays where it is, but in this day and age, like, you got to have a side hustle. You got to have, a 9 to 5. You got to have a second side hustle. Now, I'm not saying it should be that way, right? Like, I'm not saying that 40 hours a week, 9 to 5 shouldn't be good enough. Like, I'm not one of those people that's saying that. I'm not sitting here saying, you got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I'm not saying that. But at the end of the day, if I have to choose between working 70 hours a week and sleeping under a bridge, I'm going to do those 70 hours. I'll be honest. It's a lot less stress, in my opinion, to work too many hours than it is to be broke. I think being broke is if there's working too many hours and there's being broke and you don't have a middle ground option, I think you're going to be less stressful working the hours than you are living under a bridge. Maybe that's just me. Maybe there's freedom under that bridge. I don't know. But in any case, I hope you guys find this interesting, and thanks for watching the video.